Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you can join me again today. If you're a new subscriber or if you just found me today on your YouTube, thank you so much for clicking onto this video. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel and giving it a thumbs up if you end up liking my content. I'm going to be doing a little story time whilst I'm doing my makeup, and this is going to be on an experience I had with online shopping. This is going to be a great one, guys. This is going to be a good one, so let's get into that. So guys, the one thing I ever wanted ever since I started my YouTube channel is a ring light. Like I've always like that was my first goal. Like the first thing I'm going to get is a ring light because it made my life easier when it comes to filming and everything. Like I normally research these things. I go into research mode and I started asking around, looking on the internet, looking at reviews, looking at to where I can purchase it. And I found that it was a lot more expensive to purchase it in South Africa. So I started looking at other alternatives online, right? And then I came across the website Wish, guys. Wish. Wish. So yeah, so this is where I went to Wish. The cousin who I actually spoke to, she really is into all this online shopping and she had experiences with Wish, and she's like, you know what, for big gadgets, Wish is actually good for like electronics and everything, which is good. I think that's what she said. Well, that's how I took it. That's what she said. Like they really do deliver yada yada yada. I'm like, oh, okay, shoot. The thing with me is I usually like I'm so frugal. Like I'm a penny pincher. I can't. Every purchase that I do, like it has to be calculated. I just don't, unless it's makeup. But I just don't go and buy stuff. This light that I had wanted on Wish was like an 18-inch ring light. I didn't want to go it small. I didn't want to buy one and then purchase another one later. So it was like an 18-inch ring light with a dimmable, like it was dimmable and everything. It had a remote. It was everything I wanted in a ring light. So this is what I opted for, right? So I bought it. I think everything was 110 rand of $110 plus the shipping, which was going to be $10. So the whole bill was like 120 rand, and then I had a discount. I had a promo code or something like that, and everything was like $108.60 or something. But that's everything I had to pay. So in rand, everything was like 1,500 and something. That's what I made my purchase on the 1st of February. That's when I purchased the ring light. And then on the 3rd, I got a message saying that they're processing. And on the 6th, it was out for shipping. I'm like, okay, so far so good, okay? And then from that point onwards, the 6th of February 2020, it was a waiting game, okay? And that is one of the reasons why I don't like buying things online. I don't like the waiting process, but I waited. But because I bought this online, you know how Wish has a bad reputation? I didn't tell anyone this. I didn't tell my family. When I made this purchase, I was home for the weekend with my family. I didn't tell anyone that. I just did it and kept quiet because I'm like, it's 1,500. Like, I didn't want any judgment because I was judging myself already. So I'm like, don't tell nobody. And I think I only told my friend like a few days later or a week later. So this happened. I've bought the slide. I'm waiting for it and everything. It's all cool. So they said, I think they said shipping would take 30 days, I think 30 business days or 30 days, which is fine. And guys, get this was in February, right? It was before the pandemic. And I think in February, people really didn't know what was going on. Like they didn't think that the pandemic was going to be this bad. In other parts of the countries, especially here in South Africa, I don't think anyone was even talking about the pandemic, you know? So it was good. There wasn't any fear of not getting it delivered or anything because, you know. So from this whole process, what I noticed is, well, fun, I knew this from the word go, but there was this stigma. I don't know if stigma is the right word to use, but there's this stigma associated with online shopping from where I come from, because I think even my mom is like, if I can buy it in line, unless it's changed, okay, don't misquote me, mom. But there's this thing that if you can buy it and touch it and feel it, and rather buy it like this, because all these people will sell things online, will steal all your money. So that was the thing. So I think this is why I didn't say anything to anyone. There's sort of that shame attached to it. And it was like Wish of all places. Wish, you don't go to Wish. So it was like that. So I would, from time to time, I would just check to see what was happening, right? On the 24th of February, remember I put the order in on the 1st of Feb. So this is how I was calculating the 1st of February. The 24th of February, I sent Wish support, on their app and everything. I sent them a message to say what's happening with my order. Can I get a tracking number? Because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, the 20 days are almost up. The 30 days for shipping are almost up. So let me get the tracking number so that, when everything is ready, I can just go ahead and pick up my thing. Okay. So we're there. I emailed them and they're like, international shipping takes some time because they use other companies to do that. But there's your tracking number and everything. I gave my tracking number. See, at this point, I'm happy. I'm like, okay, something is happening. People are just lying to us. Wish works. I mean, look at this. Look at this. I have a shipping number and the tracking number and everything. So I tracked my parcel, right? And it was, I think it only just said in transit or something, but I noticed that it was using China mail or something like that, or Chinese postal services or something to that effect. That's what was happening. So I'm like, okay, it's in transit. It's fine. But then they do say in the message that they can't give you like a detailed step-by-step of where your package is because it's international shipping. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. But at least it's in transit. So in that same email, they said I should expect to receive my parcel between April 21st and June 10th, I think. So that's the window period that they gave me to receive my parcel. And I was taken aback because I'm like, in my mind, he said 30 days. To be honest, guys, I don't know why I did all these other things that I did, because at that point, like, I don't know what was in my mind, but I guess I didn't want to make everyone else be correct or something like that. So I started emailing them. So after the initial contact where they told me to wait, yada, 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 I sent them an email again to inquire where my package was. They replied and said, yada, 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 we should give international shipping more time and everything. And then in this email, they did say that you should expect to receive your parcel between May 1 and June 2020. And I thought, that's weird, because remember initially they had said between April and June. Now it's like May 1st and June. But okay, what's happening? I wasn't sure what was happening, but I let it go. I let it like that, and I waited a little bit more, right? I let it like that, and I waited a little bit more. It's not like I had a choice. It's not like I could march in there and say to Wish, hey, give me my parcel. I had to wait. Guys, I hadn't realized it's so hard to talk and do my brows at the same time. This is hard. Like, that's why I keep on stopping and not doing anything. At this point, I think on the 3rd or later on in the day, on the 7th, sorry, the 2nd, later on the 2nd, that day, or I think the following day, I got an email, right, stating that I have a parcel that is to be delivered to me and stuff, and they need an importer's ID. I had no idea what that was. I tried Googling it. I think that didn't help because I ended up emailing again, Wish, and telling them that they need this thing. I don't know what that is. When I googled it, it said it had something to do import tax or something like that, and I asked them because I wasn't aware that there were going to be these extra charges. So I asked them what it was and everything, and then they replied and said something to the effect that Wish does not charge that, but it's from different territories where you ship to. Like if it's in South Africa, this is what they charge in VAT and import taxes and everything like that, and it's not connected to Wish. I'm like, okay, that's fine. What I actually did was I got the email from these people. Like, I won't say the name of the logistics company in South Africa. I noticed they're based also in South Africa, about this importer's ID or whatever it was. And then I responded to them. No one responded. There was a phone number to call. I called. No one answered. There was an email address. I tried using that email address. Nothing. And there was also a WhatsApp address. I sent them a message. Nothing, guys. Like, they were quiet. Like, they went non-existent. Like, they did, I think it went on for like a day or two. I called them like almost every day. No one would pick up. It would just ring. And they'll say we have high call volumes. Even when I called them like early in the morning, they would always say high call volumes. So I couldn't get in touch with anyone, I'm looking at my eyes, yeah. I talk too much. Okay. So since the logistics company, the delivery company that's supposed to deliver my package this side of the world, was not responding to me, I emailed Wish. Like I told you, I don't know why I was sending all these emails to Wish. I feel like people who were saying this are like, oh my God, this chat again. But I did that, and they asked me to attach the email, a screenshot of the email I received and everything like that. And I sent it to them, right? And then I think, was it the same day or the day next, they responded saying the same thing, that different people charge different things once you get to your country, import fees, yada yada yada. But in this response this time, guys, Wish actually said that the package will be delivered by the 21st of April. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it time then. If it's supposed to be delivered by the 28th of April, it's fine. And if it seems that the parcel is with someone on this side of the world, like in South Africa, so I was like, great, my package is almost here. So the 11th, I received a parcel, right? I was called. So what I do is, usually when I shop things online, I usually put my work address, because that's where I am during the day, so that I get my parcel whilst I'm at work rather than at home when there's no one there. So my work address was there. I received a parcel, right? And I was so excited. I'm like, a parcel, finally. And I go outside. Oh, prior to this, in my emails, I received an email saying that you expect a package that will be delivered tomorrow. Yeah. So when it came, I knew there was a parcel that was coming. So I have two workmates, my manager and one other workmate. I stood up, like, I don't want to smile a whole lot, but I'm smiling, like, finally it has happened. I go to the reception. There's this delivery guy sitting there, right? And I look at what he was carrying nothing. And then he's like, are you mood signed everything? Are you mood signed? I'm like, yes, sign here, please. Then I signed, and I talked to myself, I'm like, it seems like it's a paper, where's the rest of it? And this guy was like, there's no rest of it. This is the only thing that you get, mama. I'm like, you lie. I even said to him, you lying, there is something for me. It's like, no, this is what I have. And then he started walking out. I'm like, are you serious? And then he said yes. I'm like, okay. Now I was panicking at this point. What's happening? Because it was a little sleeve. Let me show you. So guys, this is the parcel I received in the mail, like this. This is as is the parcel. This is how I received it. It was a little parcel. It had bubble wrap. It still has the bubble wrap inside, guys. I kid you not. I'm not making these things up. This is what came. And I was so lost, like, what is happening, right? And I went back to my seat, right? My friend is like, what's happening? Did you get it? I'm like, no, I was angry, but I wasn't sure why I'm angry. So I sat down and I opened this. And I saw her smiling, like she wanted to laugh at me, but she couldn't laugh at me. I don't know, like, people are so mean. Like, so I opened it, right? And I opened the bubble wrap. There was this little note. Guys, I got this note like this. This is what the note said, and it said, this is a small gift for you in advance. The selfie stick you purchased will arrive later. Please be patient. Guys, I laugh now. Then it wasn't funny because I think I dropped a few tears, like, what's happening? I'm like, first of all, selfie stick? I did not order a selfie stick. I ordered a ring light. Like, what's happening? I think I got angry, and everyone in the office just kept quiet because they weren't sure what to do. Okay? My friend had stopped smiling. My friend is Mbali. Okay. Mbali had stopped smiling already because she could tell that, no, this woman is now angry. Like, I was angry. Like, what's happening? I took out my phone, went to the Wish app, and started sending them a message like, what the is happening? Why are you sending me this note? Like, what's happening? Like I said, I went to the Wish app and started typing them a message because I wasn't having none of that. At the same time, I was calling the company that was supposed to deliver something, because in my mind, the logistics company that is supposed to deliver made a mistake. So I tried calling them as well, right? It didn't go through for a few days after that. And then finally, when it went through, I spoke to this lady. She was so nice. You know how when you were calling, I was so angry, like, no one is picking my calls. What's happening? Whatnot. And then when she picks up this call, finally, I ask her, what's happening? I got this paper, and this lady's like, no, this is what they shipped to us. And then I'm like, but it's not what I ordered. And then there's like, yeah, your package coming from China was this amount, was weighing this, and this is what you got. And there's a small letter, yada. Okay, I'm like, okay, thank you, ma'am, thank you. I'm now biting my tongue, coming back, because I realized they didn't do anything wrong. Guys, like I said, the day when I received the note that said, the note inside of the ring light that said, what is it called? Your selfie stick will come later on, yada. It was the 11th of March. And like I also said, on the same day, I sent out an email to Wish, right? Stating that this is what happened. But when I sent this, guys, I was not calm. I think the whole message, I typed it in capital letters so that they know I'm shouting. Because I was angry at this point. I was angry, I was pissed, I felt dumb. So I typed it out and sent it to them, right? Stating that I want back my money. Because I'm not playing these games with you guys. give me my money. If you couldn't deliver my ring light, give me my money. And at this time, there were talks of a lockdown. We didn't know what beast that was because we hadn't done it before, because it was around the 11th of March, right? So we didn't know what was going to happen, but all I know was I wanted my money. Then these guys replied the same day. Guess what they said? They said that your parcel is on its way. Just give it time. International shipping takes some time. So just be patient. Your package is on its way. I was so angry because at this point it proved that these are robots or a system that's answering my emails. Because if they had read my emails, that's not the appropriate response. So I was pissed now. I was pissed. I was feeling dumb. People were like, sorry, Muta. Sorry, it will get the email. You know, they wanted me to stay positive, but I knew in my heart of hearts that, Muta, there, you lost it. All I know is with Wish is sometimes you send them an email or a message and they reply that day. Sometimes they don't respond to you and then they'll be like, resolved, issue resolved. Or they wouldn't respond and respond to you. So what I did is I actually went to their Facebook and started sending them a message via Messenger, right? But that didn't help because Messenger also replied the same way as they did. Sometimes even on Messenger, they wouldn't respond. So this was how frustrated I was. I was trying on Messenger, I was trying on the app, and I even Googled how to report these online businesses. And there's no way. I think that's one of the biggest dangers with online shopping. If you encounter problems like this, there isn't a body or someone that they report to and you can. So guys, from that point onwards, it was me sending Wish messages via their app and on Facebook, trying to get some sort of way forward or my money back. This is what I want. I really didn't care about the light at this point. I really wanted my money, and we should respond and say it's on its way, give it time, yada yada yada. And then on the 19th, right, I sent them an email because now at this point I was also explaining that I was waiting for my parcel but nothing came, only a letter, right? And I sent them an email. I think someone responded. I think this someone was Gilbert. I dealt with a bot called Gilbert or a person called Gilbert. Whoever Gilbert is, I was speaking mostly to this Gilbert person and sometimes Aziza or something. I don't know. They're now my family. I was like, how are you doing, Gilbert? How's your family going? You know, because we've been talking together. We've been talking to each other for so long, right? And so this Gilbert person said, send me a picture of what you received, right? And I sent them a picture. And then they respond, send me a picture again. So I think I ended up sending pictures 2 times of what I had received. I took a picture of the little paper here and the note that was inside, and I sent it to them. This was on the 21st. That's when I sent all these pictures and everything. But after that, they didn't respond to me. Like they kept quiet, like I hadn't done anything. They just kept quiet on the 21st. And then on the 26th, I sent them I checked to see, have they responded to my emails? Because, because they were quiet for so long. I checked and it says resolved. And I lost it. I'm like, what do you mean resolved? Nothing has been resolved. No one said anything to me, right? So I emailed them back like, I started a whole new chain. I'm like, I put in an inquiry and you said resolved, but no one got back to me. What do you mean it's resolved? Right? Guess what they replied? Your parcel will be delivered on this date, like what they had said before. International shipping takes some time. Yada yada yada. So that no one had looked at my message, guys. At this point, I was boiling. Like I was like, you know, I was disgusted with their service. Like I just. At the same time, I wanted my money. I'm not one to let money go just like that. So they actually responded to that email a day after. And they like, send me pictures. I'm like, I sent pictures already. I sent them pictures. And then they responded again, send pictures. And I sent pictures again. So I sent pictures 4 times already and no one has said anything to me. When I sent pictures, they responded the same day on the 29th. And they're like, shoot, I'm not doing anything now, guys. Forgive me. And they responded on the 29th and I was like, what is the tracking number that's on that parcel? Your tracking number should be this. They gave me the tracking number that my parcel should be, right? Just confirm the tracking number. I look at the tracking number, right? Just to confirm what they were saying, because in my mind, like I just had it. I was just doing all these things so that I get my money. Guys, I checked the tracking number. The tracking numbers were different. You know how when you place your order initially and they say parcel order processed and it's on its way? So the tracking number that was on my order and also on the Wish app and the tracking number that was on this paper were 2 different things, right? And I hadn't realized that. I'm like, what is happening, right? Did I get the wrong order? What is happening? And I sent it to them. I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but the tracking number that I have is this one. And I sent it to them. Guys, I think the one thing that made the whole situation with me worse is that I kept sharing what was going on with people. And this is why sometimes you need to learn to shut the heck up, and not share your business with everyone. Because I was telling my friends, this is what was happening. And they're like, why did you use Wish? Like, really? I want someone to continue judging me as if I'm not beating myself up already for using Wish. I'm like, why were you using Wish? I stopped doing that. If someone is going through something, stop telling them things that don't help them, like, oh, when I did it did like this, or you shouldn't have done it. It doesn't help anyone. It really didn't help me. It made me feel more stupid, like, Munsa, you're above this, like, you should know better. It didn't help my situation at all. I did speak to my cousin who usually shop online. She was like, don't worry, Wish will refund you. They're not like that. But, I'm like, okay, with Wish, every situation is different. It's a case-by-case thing, I feel like. Now we were during the, lockdown period, and everything had slowed down. International packages were not delivering, even local, because when we started, remember, it was lockdown level 5, and at level 5, nothing was being delivered. All delivery companies were closed. So I was like, yo, father. And if this was coming via China Post, I don't know. I was telling myself it would come through the post office. Like, I really didn't know what to believe. But all I knew was I wasn't going to get that package anytime soon. So guys, at this point, we were in end of April. And remember, I'd made the initial order in the 1st of February. So time had passed. It had been a while since I made that order. So, as if, I'm like, this couldn't get any worse. I felt like this was it. I didn't think it would get any worse, but nay. Wish was not done with me yet. So, on the 27th of April, right? Like always, I checked my password to see, what, maybe I'm just being irrational. We are in the middle of a pandemic and it's international shipping. Of course, it will take some time. So just check on it now and see where your password was. At this point, I'd had enough of these guys that I'd stopped checking and sending them email frequently, like what I used to do. I'd stop all that, right? So on this day, I'm like, okay, Sister Muta, track your parcel. Surprises might happen, just track it, right? I put my thing in my tracking number there. I searched for it, guys. It said the tracking number had expired. It says your tracking number expired. Can we talk about how a tracking number expires and you still haven't gotten your package? I started panicking even more. I don't know what was happening, but my tracking number couldn't have expired and I don't have my parcel. Guys, the stress of everything. I could. Guys, you can only imagine how frantic I was at this point. I was like, whoo, child. It was bad. And I emailed Wish and said, this is what's happening. Now at this point, can I really get my money now? Because your tracking number is even expired. And guys, you know that English is not my first language. It's not my second. It's not my third. It's not my 100th. It's not even, So I felt like I wasn't explaining it good enough. And in my mind, it probably is wrong. I was like, these Chinese people don't even get what I'm saying. I shouldn't probably say Chinese. But I'm just thinking we are lost in translation here. They don't get what I'm saying because I only need my money. And this is what they respond that according to their policy, there's a 30-day policy, yada, yada, yada. I don't know what beans they're talking about. And then they gave me a link explaining their refund processes. And they said that they can only refund me after the expected date had passed. At this point, the expected delivery date was now the 1st of May to June 10th. I think I said that before. But according to which there is really nothing I could do at this point until this date had come and passed. But I was having none of it. I wasn't listening to anyone, to Gilbert, to Aziza, to nobody. I was not listening. All I wanted my money. I wanted my money at this point. And then I started the whole thing again of emailing Wish every day, sometimes twice a day. I would email them. So this is the part that made me more angry with Wish, right? You'd email them now and then they would say, your package is on its way, expected date of delivery is this, right? And then I would email them again, because every time I email them, I would narrate the whole process. And when you narrate, they'll be like, oh, sorry to hear about this. Our team will get back to you. And then they don't get back to you. And then a day or two later, you email them and then they'll be like, issue resolved. And then you email them again and then they'll be like, international shipping takes a long time. There's your tracking number. You know, the first response that they gave to me. So to me, it showed that no one was really even looking at them. These were like automated email, and it didn't make me happy at all. But at this point now, I was losing it. Like, I was like, whatever. All the emails that I wrote out to, I wanted to say switch, to Wish was in capital letters just to show them I was angry. And at this point, I was now exclusively, I think, dealing with a Gilbert guy, right? And then they had the nerve, the audacity to respond and say resolved. Guys, I lost it. I started responding to Gilbert and addressing, but I'm like, you Gilbert from Wish. You know, I left all my home training ended. I'm like, you Gilbert from Wish. You keep on saying this has been resolved, yada yada, and then Gilbert will keep quiet. Following that, I'll copy and paste the same. Gilbert from Wish, you have not resolved anything. Gilbert will not say it. The following day, I'm like, you Gilbert from Wish and your team, yes, this is such a scam you're running. You're so unprofessional. How come no one is getting back to me? You were quick to check our money, but no one wants to respond back. This is so unprofessional. I'm so disappointed. I'll show you guys some of the messages I was sending. I'll just show them here so that you see what I was going through. But yeah, then I was like, I was done. Like I was saying, guys, to be honest, in my mind, this was the end of it. I wasn't going to get that money back. Like, in my mind, I knew that already. But because I'm a very confrontational person and I love talking too much, I kept on sending those messages. I wasn't going to just walk away without a fight. So I kept on sending those messages. But in my heart of hearts, I was like, Mutsa, your money is gone. You're not going to get your money back. This is it, you know. I sort of had made peace with that. And then one of my friends, you know which one that is, was like, imagine what if they send you this ring light and then they send you another one because you had said, and then in the end you had two ring lights. I was like, this is not helping. Okay. Well, I don't know if I told her that. I might have. But it wasn't helping. I know what she was trying to do, but it wasn't helping at this point. Nothing was helping. That she paid so a long time ago, nothing was happening. So all this emailing is going on back and forth, back and forth. So this was from the 4th of May. We're just back and forth. Sometimes they wouldn't respond to me. Sometimes they would. But yeah, you know, I was just doing it because I was bored. Sometimes I'll just sit there and I'm like, Wish. And I'll send a message because, like I told you, in my mind, I wasn't going to get anything anyway, right? So on the 9th, I sent another email saying, I want my money. You're a scam. I just want my money. That's all I want, right? No one responded to me on the 9th. And then on the 11th, someone responded to me and they said, like, international shipping takes a long time. Be patient. There's a tracking number. I'm like, not again, right? And then on the same day, just like midday, midday, like around maybe 3 or 4, I get an email, but I don't look at my emails because, you know, and this was lockdown and I was back home and I look at my emails. God, guys, I mean, I want to say God. I looked at my emails and guys wouldn't, like I told you, Wish keeps on piling surprises. And then there was one other surprise, guy. One other surprise. Can you guess what it was? I couldn't believe. I'm like, Wish. I was looking at my phone and then I see refund processed. Yo. Guys, I screamed. Like, people didn't understand why I was screaming because I remember at home I hadn't told anyone what was going on. I just started screaming like, yes, refund. And the thing, remember when I started this video, I told you I paid like 1,500 and some odd dollars, rand, right? In thingy, and then they said the refund was processed. Give it like some days for it to process. Guys, you wouldn't imagine my happiness. I was so over the moon. I was so happy because I didn't think it was going to happen. That's the honest truth, guys. I'd given up already. I'd written off that debt as, you know, it was not going to happen. So what I did is, I think like 2 or 3 days later, it didn't even take long, the money came into my account. And what made me happy, because of the exchange rates and everything, I ended up getting something like 1,800 or 1,900 rand. So at the end of the day, I ended up making money from all this. Do you realize? Because remember, I paid 1,500, right? And then I got paid back something like 1,900. So in essence, I got something like, fine, it wasn't 400, it was 300 and something, right? But I got money back, guys. I was so excited. I was happy. I was over the moon. And it's at that point that I started telling my mom what happened. And my family like, I did that. How did I do that? Can you imagine? And then they did it. Because now it was just a story, because I actually got my money back. So I could tell all these people what was happening. So you can understand when I uploaded that video, guys. You remember that video when I was like, let me put some blush. That video when I was like, I got a ring light. Now you can understand my happiness, because I had been waiting on a ring light since Feb. So it was a long time coming. And so when that deposit got into my bank, when I got that money, guess what I did? I deleted Wish from my phone. I'm like, never again, never, Mutsa, never again. Even if they're giving people million, right? Every day, I am not going to sign back to Wish. I will never, ever, ever, ever. I think that from my whole experience, guys, the lesson I learned is stay away from Wish. Like, that's the number one lesson. I don't get anything from Wish, like I said. It didn't discourage me from online shopping. I just am weary of some websites. Like, I know other people now to go, and I also listen to other people now. Granted, with online shopping, I feel like everyone's experience is so different every single time, because I've heard people complaining about websites like Shein or anything like that. For me, I love Shein. My first order that I did on there, it took less than 3 days for it to get here. So I feel like people have different experiences. So guys, I really do hope that you enjoyed this little story I had with my experience with Wish. I'm only laughing now because it's in the past. I wasn't laughing then, guys. Trust and believe I was not laughing then. But comment down below the experiences you have had with these online selling people. Like, they're always dodgy, hey? Okay, so thank you so much for watching my story time. I hope you enjoyed it. And please, guys, do take care. It's bye for now.